Today we are comparing the Srixon ZXi5 against the Mizuno Pro 245. Two clubs that really are designed for your better golfer. The golfer really looking for looks, feel and optimal dispersion. Okay, so we're really going to dive into that. Speed may be important depending on what type of golfer you are. You know, these are sitting at 31 degrees and 30 degrees for the Mizuno, so they're quite strong. So they're not like your super players club, but they're definitely for better golfers. You know, 5 handicap up to probably 11 or 12 handicap, I would imagine. Both of these clubs have been popular in this category, so quite eager to put them head to head today to help you make a better decision if you are in the market for any of these clubs. So starting with the looks, well, they're probably two of the best looking clubs in this category. They both look really, really nice. If I had to pick one, you'd probably say the Mizunos. You know, they would look great in your bag. From behind there, they just look, yeah, so clean, so premium. Srixons look great as well, but in that playing position, you can't really pick them. Mizuno is more of like a brush steel effect, a bit more of like a polished finish to the Srixon, but really in truth, not a lot between them. Probably Mizuno just edges it on looks. So just going to hit a few shots with each club, starting with this Srixon ZXi5. I think the Srixon range has been great this year. I like how the whole family of Srixon looks quite similar. You think of like the ZXi4, which is like your kind of muscle back, then into the ZXi5, and then the ZXi7. They all look, you know, very much part of the same family, and that's why you see a lot of combo sets in this. You know, you might think, well, actually ZXi5 would be great, maybe my short irons, and then I'll get the ZXi4 in the longer irons for more forgiveness. So that is definitely an option, but let's hit a few shots with this ZXi5. In this playing position, it looks really nice, and it actually looks quite forgiving as well. I think as you look down into this, it's certainly not too small, so don't be put off by that. That felt good. Yeah, nice spin number there at 6,000. Very important when it comes to dispersion. A little bit off the toe, but we're probably not going to see, yeah, there's no drop off in distance there. Yeah, it feels really nice, really nice. They've got this iForge construction is what Srixon are talking about. So that's nice kind of forged feel to it. Feels good. And yeah, you know, like I would say a lot of the guys I've fitted for these, you're probably, I'd say mid low single figure, so probably 5 to 10 handicap is a good range here. A little bit off the bottom, so see that distance just drop a touch, ball speed just dropping, so there is that forgiveness. You know, that's probably dropping perhaps 10 yards on the carry, but it really is a nice balance. It looks good, feels good. There's a little bit of forgiveness in there too. That felt nice. Yeah, 164 carry, that's what we'd expect. Something around that number. Yeah, that was 8 solid shots there. Felt really nice, you know, no issues at all with that. You know, I could see this being a very popular iron for a lot of you out there. Quick break. If you're enjoying this video and want to take your game to the next level, I've put together a short, practical ebook to help you find the right golf clubs for you, based on your swing, budget and skill level. Whether you're a beginner or upgrading after years on the course. You can grab it right now using the link in the description below. It'll save you time, money and frustration. As a bonus, I'm offering a free online lesson when you buy the ebook. Back to the video. Okay, so into this Mizuno Pro 245. As I said, looks is just fantastic. It looks so classy, so premium. Exactly what you'd expect from Mizuno. Playing position looks great again. Doesn't look too small. I like how what they've done with this iron. It actually looks quite similar to the 241 as well. It almost looks a bit like a blade, but it's not. You know, if you were to have that in your bag, you'd almost feel like you've got a real player's club in there. But then you put it behind the ball, and it's pretty forgiving, or it looks quite forgiving. So yeah, very good design. Amazing how much softer that felt actually. The Srixon didn't feel hard at all, but straight away as soon as I hit that, it felt quite a bit softer. Yeah, it feels really nice to hit, I must admit. Yeah, quite a different feel, I must admit, to the Srixon. Much softer. Again, whether that's a good or a bad thing, I'm not sure. Weirdly enough, I actually seem to be hitting these more to the right. Similar shaft, same lie angle. But I actually felt like I was hitting the Srixons straighter. Again, you know, clearly it's not always the club. Definitely getting a bit more ball speed out of this. I'm just not totally sure on the accuracy, but it does feel great. That felt nice. Yeah, that was a good shot. Laser straight, that one. Yeah, it's funny, Mizuno strap line, nothing feels like a Mizuno, and they're right, you know, it feels really good and nice and easy to hit as well. Yeah, so that was quite interesting. Only 8 shots with each club, so it's only a small sample size. The feel was quite different between the two. I definitely enjoyed hitting the Mizuno better from a feel standpoint, but I did feel like I was hitting the Srixons a bit straighter. So let's have a look. I could be wrong. Let's take a look at the dispersion. Yeah, so if we look at the dispersion, not a lot in it, is there really, to be honest? Yeah, it's very hard to, I mean, the Srixon in the white there is a slightly narrower circle, if you like, but it's a bit longer, isn't it? So I can't really split those really in terms of dispersion. Let's take a look at the numbers. Okay, so working across from left to right, club speed a bit more with the Mizuno, ball speed a couple of miles an hour quicker, launching a bit lower, interesting enough, with the Mizuno. Yes, it's 1 degree stronger, so that does affect things, but it is, what's that, 2.6 degrees lower. Overall height a bit lower with the Mizuno, hence the land angle is 45 to 47. Spin number 5.9 with the Mizuno, 5.6 with the Srixon, so, you know, a little bit more. I mean, anything around 6,000 is great, you know, in terms of landing and holding greens. Carry 160 for 168 with the Mizuno, 157 for 165 with the Srixon, and side plus or minus 22 feet for both actually. So, you know, looking at those numbers, there really isn't a lot in it. You know, I would say these two are the leaders, you know, in this category. You know, certainly the 245s is in its hollow bodied category. The ZXi5 isn't hollow bodied, but it kind of falls under the same type of golfer. So nothing to really split. You know, the Mizuno felt nicer, but Srixon felt great as well. So can't pick a winner today, guys. So if you are in the market for 2 nice looking clubs with good dispersion, I would definitely check out the Srixon ZXi5 and the Mizuno Pro 245.